In the grand storybook of Golden Age Hollywood, two names stand out like monuments carved in marble: Clark Gable and Katharine Hepburn. They were titans. Both ruled the screen in their own way. He with rugged charm and masculine magnetism, she with sharp intellect and fiery independence. Though their paths in cinema were vastly different, their impact was equally profound. One was the king of Hollywood, the other, the woman who rewrote the rules of what it meant to be a female star. Together, they represent the dual pulse of classic Hollywood: charisma and courage, popularity and principle. Let's begin with Clark Gable, a man whose screen presence defined American masculinity for a generation. Born in 1901 in Cadiz, Ohio, William Clark Gable didn't seem destined for movie stardom. He grew up in a working-class family and dropped out of school at 16. At first, he struggled. He worked odd jobs, took acting lessons, and slowly climbed his way through small theater roles and silent films. But everything changed in the early 1930s. With his roguish grin, broad shoulders, and effortless confidence, Gable was a breath of fresh air. In a town dominated by polished pretty boys and stiff matinee idols, he was real, authentic. He was what American men wanted to be and what American women wanted to be with. By 1934, Gable had become a force. That year, he starred in It Happened One Night opposite Claudette Colbert. The romantic comedy, directed by Frank Capra, became an instant classic, and Gable's performance as a sarcastic, lovable newspaperman won him his first and only Academy Award. From that moment on, Gable was everywhere. He played daring soldiers, rugged adventurers, and passionate lovers. In Mutiny on the Bounty, Boomtown, San Francisco, and Test Pilot, he commanded the screen with a balance of toughness and vulnerability. Then, in 1939, came the role that would immortalize him: Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind. As the brash, cynical Southern gentleman opposite. Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind. As the brash, cynical Southern gentleman opposite Vivian Lee's Scarlett O'Hara, Gable delivered one of the most iconic performances in film history. His final line, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," would echo through the ages. But Gable was more than a movie star. He was a symbol. During World War II, he joined the U.S. Army Air Forces, flying combat missions and refusing to live in comfort while others fought. In Bringing Up Baby, The Philadelphia Story, and Holiday, she redefined the romantic comedy heroine, not as a passive prize, but as an equal force. Her chemistry with co-stars like Cary Grant and Spencer Tracy wasn't built on submission. It was built on balance. But her career wasn't all smooth sailing. In the late 1930s, she was labeled box office poison after a string of commercial failures. Katharine Hepburn was its queen, but not a queen who sat on a throne. She ran, climbed, laughed, cried, and dared. She stood shoulder to shoulder with the men, and often above them. Their careers represented two pillars of American cinema: rugged masculinity and unshakable femininity. And in many ways, they reflected a changing society, one that was grappling with gender roles, personal freedom, and the ever-evolving nature of stardom. Both stars outlasted the studio system that created them. Gable was a contract player at MGM, yet he kept his identity intact. Hepburn moved through studios, choosing roles with purpose and strategy. Today, their influence is everywhere. When you see George Clooney's suave charm, you're seeing shades of Gable. When Cate Blanchett strides across the screen with brains and bravado, that's Hepburn's torch being carried. They were more than movie stars. They were ideals. Not perfect, not without flaws, but larger than life. Clark Gable made audiences believe in strength that could be tender. Katharine Hepburn made them believe in women who didn't need to be saved. Together, their careers form a masterclass in screen presence, character depth, and authenticity. And while their lives were different, Gable's rooted in rugged individualism, Hepburn's in intellectual defiance, they shared a commitment to craft. They cared about the work. They believed in the power of performance to move, to challenge, to inspire. Golden Age Hollywood produced many stars, but only a handful became icons. Gable and Hepburn earned their immortality not through scandal or style, but through substance. And that, perhaps, is their greatest legacy. As the lights of old Hollywood continue to fade into history, their names still shine bright.